Tutorial is going to cover the basics of Photoshop. So you should be able to understand by the end of this tutorial how to create a new canvas at a specific size, how to import images, how to work with layers, and also how to arrange and edit those layers within your picture. So this is very introductory, and it's obviously looking at quite a specific aspect of Photoshop. So what we've been working with is creating something that's at this particular size, which is to work as a static banner on a website such as Facebook. So this particular canvas has been set to be the size that you might see at the top of a Facebook page, which is known as the Facebook banner. And what I've done here, just for an example's sake, is made a banner that is promoting the world's biggest coffee morning at the Grimsby Institute on the 30th September. So just to give you a quick overview of Photoshop. So this is how it looks when you open it up. Okay, there won't be an image here, obviously. But down your left-hand side here are all your tools. So the main ones that you need are this one here, which allows you to select parts of your image. This one allows you to move parts of your image. This is your lasso, and that allows you to sort of circle around objects if you're wanting to select something that's maybe not a square shape. Other key ones you need here are an eraser and a paint bucket. Then you've also got a type tool, a pen tool, and a hand tool, and just here is where you select your colours. Okay, this is obviously your workspace here, and then on this side here you have basically quick access to different tools that you might need to adjust colours and styles, but more importantly this section here, which will show your layers. Now the key thing to understand about Photoshop is that we work in layers. So if you imagine a picture, and you on top of that picture you lay layers of clear acetate plastic, and on each of those layers of plastic is an image. And as you lay each one on top of the other one, you can see the image sort of forming all together. Now, in order to work with these, you kind of need to understand how that works. So obviously, whatever's at the bottom is at the bottom of the pile. So as it stacks up, you can see whatever is on top. So for example, if you put quite a large image on layer 3, it may cover up what's on layer 2, and so on. But you can simply, rearrange them to sort of make sure that what you need is at the top. Now, what you'll also notice with layers is that if you're here's a finished image here. If I'm wanting to move, for example, this logo over here, I've currently got layer 2 selected, which is our green logo over here. So I might think, right, I just want to click on that and move it. But because I've got the layer selected with this, what you'll find is I'll actually be moving that about. So you need to remember that in order to edit a layer or move a layer, you have to select it first. So my logo here is on layer 3. So if I select that, I can now move that about. Okay. So once you get head around layers, it's all very straightforward. Obviously, you can turn off layers on and off, so you can kind of look at each bit individually. Okay, so that's the kind of basics of the layout and the kind of basic tools. So let's look now at creating a new project. Okay, so to create a new project, we go to File at the top, New. And what we're doing is creating a Facebook banner which has very specific measurements, which are 851 pixels by 315 pixels. Okay, so let's call this Grimsby Facebook page. Okay, we'll click that. You'll see it's given us our sort of banner template. Now, notice how I've got no layers here, because I obviously haven't done anything yet. So what we're going to do is start to build up our picture. So let's do a slightly different one to the one that we just saw. So I'm going to, for this particular banner, I'm going to have a white background. So to create a white background, I'm going to choose white on my colour here. I'm going to choose this icon here. which is our rectangle tool. If you hold your mouse down, it allows you to choose different shapes, but we're going for a rectangle. And I'm simply just going to draw my rectangle over my canvas. Okay, and that should give me a nice white background. There we go. And you'll see that that rectangle has now been created as my first layer. So we've got our white background. Next thing, let's open up some images. So I've got a folder of logos and things that I've got from the internet. So let's open one of those. So first off, let's use this this nice phrase here. So if we open this up, it'll open it up on a new tab up here. So what I'm wanting to do is select all of this. This checkerboard effect means that it's got on a transparent background. So what I want to do is select all of this. So if I go to select all, and then I want to copy, so edit, copy, and then if I go back to my banner, and if I do edit and paste, it pastes it on. Now obviously it's far too big at the moment, so if I go to edit, transform, and I want to transform the scale, it brings up this box around my object. So I can, if I hold down Shift, which is on the bottom left hand side of your keyboard, the second key up on the left, hold Shift down, because what that does is that helps keep your image in perspective. So I can resize this now to get it the size I want it. So I want this to be kind of right in the middle of my banner. Okay, once I'm happy, if I hit enter, that then saves that there. So we've now got a nice white banner with our thing in the middle. So next up, let's bring in another logo. So obviously this is for the Grimsby Institute Facebook page, so let's bring in the Grimsby Institute logo. There we go. Handily, it's already on a white background, so let's select. Notice here you can do Command A to select all. And then again, Command C. Onto our banner, Command V. Okay, but far too big once again, so transform, scale, hold down Shift and resize. Okay, you don't need to worry too much about where you place things just at the moment, because obviously once you've got everything on that you want to put on, you can reposition things. But for now, I'm just going to pop the logo down there. Okay, and let's bring in one more item. Oops. Open. And let's have the logo for the world's biggest coffee morning. Okay, so that's again on a transparent background, so I'm going to Command A to select all, Command C to copy, go on my thing, and Command V to paste. Okay, and so let's put that here. I want to make it ever so slightly smaller, so it's a bit more like my logo here, so Command T, just make it a little bit smaller. There we go. So let's have that just there. Okay. Now, obviously it's a bit plain at the moment, so let's look at adding in some extra bits. So what I've also got in my file, which I found online, was a nice vector image of a cup of coffee. So if I open this up, I'm going to select all, copy, and paste onto my thing here. Notice how it's gone over my logo. Okay. But if I move that image of the coffee down to the bottom, it's now underneath that. So I could put my coffee down here, but a bit too big at the moment, so let's resize. Okay, so we've now got in the corner of our image there a cup of coffee. Okay, so at the risk of this becoming overly cluttered, I think you've got the idea there of how to bring in objects. These are literally all been sourced off Google Images, but they are available on your virtual campus. I can now change bits and bobs. So let's say, for example, I want a different color background. If I click on my rectangle, I can go to color overlay, and I can look at different colors. But notice how it doesn't quite work with the rest of the banner. So I'm going to keep it white because it looks nice and clean. The other thing to bear in mind with this is obviously the colors of Macmillan are green and white. So you're kind of keeping it quite in keeping with their event there. So all that's missing here perhaps is some information about where the coffee morning is taking place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my logo up here, and I'm just going to create a text box. So using the T over here, text, let's draw a box, and within there let's write 8:30. Oh, can't see anything at the moment because it's white, so let's change that to black. So 8:30 AM, the atrium, which is, let's say that's where it's taking place. Okay, so I've now got some information there. So if I want to change that font, if I just double click on the layer again, I can choose from a range of fonts here. So obviously you need to try and pick something that's kind of relevant. Remember, never Comic Sans. So I'm going to stick with what I can't remember what I had on originally, but let's choose this one. That'll do. Okay. So there we go. So we've now got on there a basic banner. We've knocked it up for Facebook. It took all of sort of 10 minutes, but it will do the job for what we're wanting to do. It looks good on Facebook, but remember obviously the logo for the page is here, the profile picture, so you don't want to cover up any logos or important information with what you put in there. But I think that kind of says a lot about what this coffee morning is all about. So as long as you can remember, all your tools are here. Remember, experiment with things. All your layers are here, and in order to work on a particular layer you have to have it selected. You can switch layers off, you can put them back on again. You also just need to remember how to bring in new images, how to copy and paste, and how to resize. So remember, copy, Command C, paste, Command V, and then transform, Command V. I'm going to quickly show you on a transform. If I just select this for transform here. If I don't hold down Shift when I'm transforming, you can see there I can completely change the shape of it. And if you left it looking like that, it doesn't quite look like it. So let's just leave that as it is. If you ever do something and you don't like it, simply do Edit, step backwards, and it can take you back to how it looked before you changed it. Okay, so there we go. And then all you need to do once you're done is File, Save As, and then we'll save two versions. We'll save a PSD version, so let's save that. And let's also save a JPEG. Okay, so we've got two versions there now. There we go. Okay, and so that is the Facebook basics.